Who is the most hated man in crypto? According to Ben Armstrong. And people are still going to jail. Those articles and NFTs. Yes, we do talk about some happy places and happy spaces here on OG Crypto and NFTs. My name is Troy with producer Amy. Amy. Wow, I do have a cold and it's affecting my brain. All right, so here we give you the best information on digital assets, Sam Bankman-Fried, and NFTs. Guys, let's jump into it. Ben Armstrong right here, he was on Yahoo Finance yesterday, and I think he just nails it. Now, am I a big Ben Armstrong fan? I'm a fan. I'm not a fanatic. Yeah, there might be a difference. It doesn't have the whole word versus a part of the word. But let's go hear what he has to say, because I think a lot of the crypto industry is backing him right now.
Gary Gensler has completely screwed everyone in crypto. Everyone who lost any money in Celsius, Voyager, BlockFi, FTX, you lost it because of Gary Gensler. His lack of creating clarity and regulation in the space is exactly what has led us to all these offshore companies that do not operate in the United States and are not regulated. His willful, lack of, dereliction of duty is what's led everybody to this point. We want regulated exchanges, but we can't get regulation. We can't get clarity. You can't do everything by enforcement. And Gary Gensler is the most negligent person in the entire space. And I blame him more than I even blame SBF.
Yes, and I mean, I feel the exact same way. There's no question about that. If we really look at the space itself, ever since Ripple and XRP has been sued by the Securities and Exchange Commission way back with Jay Clayton and now with Gary Gensler, we've been fighting them tooth and nail to find out what do we need to do to show clarity, to know that what's the difference between a security and a commodity and even a currency. And we just can't get clarity with them. Now, if we go back in the history of Ripple, yes, Ripple and XRP were called a currency by the federal government. But I think if we go back to 2018 and we saw that Bill Hinman went ahead and did his famous Ethereum free pass, and then you look back and say, well, look at the headwind that Ripple had back then with US companies such as Bank of America and other companies. I think that this was all, and again, conspiracy theory going, crazy here. I think it was JP Morgan who actually got consensus and other pro Ethereum people to be all over and pay, him and Clayton and get them rolling and get this lawsuit going. And then of course, we know that Gary Gensler is just going to go with big banks. He's always gone with big banks. He's never cared about the nobody little investor like us retail. And so he just continues to get paid right along with them. So I think that, when it's all said and done, the XRP army is getting attacked. Yet we're continually seeing, these big companies that have billions of dollars continue to fall right on his lap because he's not investigating them. He's not looking at their books, and he's allowing, even if he meets them face to face, he's allowing them to continue to go ahead and do business and absolutely destroy investors' money. Next article. All right, so lawyers detail the abrupt and difficult collapse of FTX in first bankruptcy hearing. So this hearings, I believe, were in Delaware today. And now we're finding out that, his parents now are buying, as well as him, are buying $121 million worth of real estate in the Bahamas. This is a guy who said he drove with a Toyota Corolla and lived with 10 other people in a little commune. This guy has lied through his teeth. The worst part about it is if he hadn't donated to the Democrat Party, he'd be in jail right now. But because he did, he gets this little free pass for the moment because the Democrats are still in power and they can't believe that this little 27, 30-year-old now is doing all these bad things when he was the nice guy when he visited Washington, D.C. all the time. Now, we've all kind of laughed for the puff pieces of New York Times, I think Reuters. Come on, guys. If you don't understand blockchain, don't write a stupid article that makes you look naive and dumb. So he commingled funds. He literally moved funds from moved investors' funds from one company to the next. He was reprimanded by the FDIC for saying that it was FDI insured. Guys, what else do you need from him? I mean, just on those, he should be in jail with a lawyer and figuring out, okay, how do I get out of jail? I mean, it's that bad. I don't understand. You know, Bernie Madoff was arrested the next day. This guy's out partying, you know, having fun in his commune. I even saw, you know, all kinds of stuff. But let's just get past the Sam Bankman-Fried. I think we're all tired of it. But to be very honest with you, it's just like, you know, going back in the good old days of Madoff and then even O.J. Simpson. This stuff is going to be lasting for months and months and months on a daily basis because every little thing is going to start coming out and it's going to be shocking. Next. All right, who else is going to jail, huh? HashFlare founders arrested in an astounding $575 million crypto fraud scheme. I love it. No one even heard of this, right? I mean, very few people out there heard. Why? It's only $500 million. It's not $26 billion like FTX and Alameda. It's only $500 million. Guys, it's not very much. Oh my God. This is just the biggest scam. You know, crypto is, it just brought out all the worst characters. They leveraged all the way up. They never thought, you know, Bitcoin and Ethereum would go down. And now it's just a complete dumpster fire. Let's see who else is in jail. Oh yeah, Tornado Cash. So let's go to the next one. So a guy who develops this, he's in jail because they say he was laundering. He developed a software that launders money. Yet they can't even get this guy to trial and they just keep him in jail. Come on, guys. This is ridiculous, man. I mean, he put something together in a decentralized way. Ethereum wants to say they're decentralized. Tornado Cash was decentralized. What's the difference? Well, you can launder money through Ethereum. You can launder money through Tornado Cash. I know it's a little different, but when I'm all said and done, if they're all going after all decentralized companies, well, let's go over all of them. I mean, I know I'm talking completely outside my boundary, but decentralized is decentralized. If you have the long arm of the law and the treasurer of the United States is going to go after you on a decentralized platform, then we look at it, how are we getting away from that? They can go after anybody at that point. So we're not decentralized. Next article. Excuse me. I'm going to bring in our producer, Emmy. Today, she's going to be named Amy since I changed her name. Hey, Emmy the Amy.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Well, we want to go over, you know, who the best newest.
Into frame.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
We want to go over who is actually being attacked again today. I mean, every day we're seeing the same thing, right?
Yeah, we are.
We're seeing more and more people. And so Texas is probing Tom Brady, Stephon Curry, and other FTX endorsements. We're talking about, I know Shaquille O'Neal was in here. There's Larry David. Is that Giselle?
This is Giselle, yep.
Giselle. So we're continuing seeing that if you're going to go ahead and get endorsed and get paid, you need to do some background check. Now, of course, those weren't the rules of engagement before.
Correct.
Just like Gary Gensler, right? It's by enforcement. Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I went after Kim Kardashian for $1 million, but hey, I'm gonna let SBF go $26 billion
Scot-free.
Scot-free, and I'm now he's hiding. You don't even hear about him. You know, he's getting all kinds of help. So
it's a freaking joke, but yeah. So it looks like there was Texas court is looking in. Sorry, Texas director of. There we go. So he stated the agency is investigating the amount of money paid to celebrities for endorsements. I wonder if the ones who did commercials are going to be in trouble.
So we know that Mr. Wonderful had major commercials. That was one of their very big spokes. Remember they show him go shoot up in the air?
Yeah.
Then we had Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a plethora of people here.
Larry David also. I saw the one with Larry David.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, if we have to know that prior to going after any celebrity or anybody endorsed, that they have to have, you have to give them rules of engagement, just like the crypto industry, right? If we don't have any rules, well, then everyone's just going to get sued. Kim Kardashian took what, $50,000 or $200,000 for her endorsement, you know, and then they crashed that coin, and they basically said, "I'm going to give you $200,000. We're going to make $4 or $5 million, and we're going to crash the coin." Okay, now that's a Ponzi scheme, right? And maybe. But if you're going to do that, Now, you're going to make everybody responsible for whatever they endorse. So if that's a fact, put that in writing.
I agree.
Okay? Yeah. Don't just go ahead, and again, we're back to enforcement being the rule, not the rules being the rule.
Yeah. Like you said, we're going to continue to see a lot of come out, and it's headlines for quite a while, so we want you guys most important piece.
Right. Yep. Let's jump into the NFTs.
Okay, so this is actually really cool, and even though the SBF saga was quite juicy, I'm very excited to move on to something a little bit more fun entertainment instead of shocking entertainment. So Art Basel in Miami Beach, very big art festival where a lot of rich artsy fartsy like to go.
Have you been there?
I have not, unfortunately. I would like to though.
Hold on. You're one of those artsy, fartsy, bougie. I missed an adjective in there.
Yeah. I'm one of them. Yeah.
You're one of them. So I'm now I see that that's why you know this.
Yes. And so they're doing a really big show with Tezos. Tezos has, I feel like they're crossover wise for NFTs. They're doing really well because they were involved with UFC. They were involved with ADC, which is a really big jiu-jitsu grappling. So seeing them jump into Art Basel is very interesting to me because it seems like they want to do Web3 blockchain NFT stuff with very main concepts.
Right. They're not into animal communities.
They're not at all.
They're not at all. And so I think they found their niche.
Yes.
So if we go, so it's very interesting you say that because if you go to OpenSea or SolSea or Magic Eden, those are Solana, Ethereum, and they're all about communities. There's some art on there. There's no question. Art Blocks is like enormous. It's probably the biggest art. And then Beeple has done his stuff. But you know what? I think those all are spin-offs of just a older generation. The new generation, I think, is going through it.
Yeah, this is like the future, I believe, because they, like I said, they're getting the adoption and a crossover just so freaking well. And so they're doing that now with Art Basel. So between December 1st and 3rd, they're going to be having an exhibition called Performance in Code, Deciphering Value Generative.
That's freaking awesome.
It's so interesting to me, right? And basically, they're going to do a notable display of their NFTs in collaboration with generative art platform FX Hash and in cooperation with Arts Technology. I don't know exactly what all of these companies are or what that means, but the part of this that I think is very interesting is the exhibition visitors will be able to mint and claim a highlighted NFT work of generative art in real time by simply.
That's crazy. That's awesome.
That's the part of this that I think is very, very interesting. This is kind of a mock-up of what they want to look like. So I'm super excited about this. It says that 13 artists are going to share space in the exhibition and the live minting experience of those installations, where you can scan the QR code. It's to initiate the autonomous creation of an original one-of-a-kind artwork by the artists. It is made possible through cooperation with Hash. Very interesting.
Yeah. We're seeing the evolution of art, by the way.
Definitely.
So if you look at, years ago, you'd have an artist and they'd put a painting up, right? And that would be it for hundreds of years.
Yep.
Now it's an NFT that you can carry in your pocket, in your phone.
And nothing will ever happen to it. No one can ever throw super mashed potatoes at it. It will always be safe.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we're not even going to talk about that.
Right.
Yeah. All right. And so this is very interesting. Bored Ape Yacht Club sold NFTs 7 million in 24 hours. It sounds like a lot of people were attempting to buy the dip with how the NFT market was rocked last week. And this is just...
These are super rare ones, though. I mean, these are very super rare Bored Ape Yacht Club. And when they came available, this just shows you that anything rare gets snapped up, regardless of what type of market we're in.
Yeah, I agree. The data on this is absolutely staggering. Like, if you really look at some of these stats, it kind of blows my mind that all of the headline articles are basically saying how we're in a recession, everything's awful, and yet still wild amounts of money.
So look at a 24-hour volume, over doubled for Bored Ape Yacht Club, went up over 50% for the mutants. So we're back to Yuga Labs being red hot.
On top, yeah.
Right? And then the next one just goes all the way to 16%, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like falls off the cliff. But you're looking at, wow, look at that. I mean, the volume was ridiculous.
So crazy.
Right. It's a boys club. I should say it's a club. It's a club in which a lot of people want to be involved with. And for the most part, if you have money on the sideline, this, you know, you look at for the opportune times. I mean, again, this kind of peaked out at 100. The floor was 150 ETH literally 4 or 5 months ago, and now you're paying 150 or 200 ETH for some of the top ones.
Yeah, I think this is very interesting, and a lot of people understand NFTs, all things money, and a billionaire boys club where you have to be rich.
Right.
But I feel like if you really educate yourself, as I've been through my career, you understand how the average Joe can absolutely get in. Right.
I mean, I'm just being frank. I mean, if I see an opportunity where, you know, ETH drops under $1,000 and I see these at 40 ETH or less, I'm all over one of them. I'm just to own one, right? Because I don't know, it could turn to zero. Then it could just be, you know, it could be this Yuga Labs is going to be around 400 million funding. They have, you know, one of the biggest metaverses out there. They have other side, you know, we talked about the World of Women. They might be sucking up the World of Women, which is a top female project. They have a top project and the top female project, you know, and the top secondary project in mutants. You know, they have me bits and they have, you know, so I don't, you know, who knows? This is, you know, it's a home run or it's a.
You're also being an educated buyer, though. After all the stats that you've been able to list, you've understood what Yuga Labs is, what they're about. There is a company that's that type of. Yeah. So I feel like once you understand, it's like you wouldn't just go buy a Rolex from the guy on the corner. No, you know what I mean? Once you understand how to work in Web3, I feel like it's a whole different landscape. So.
Plus they have the ape coin.
Oh,
yeah. So I mean, they really have an ecosystem that's really thriving. You know, I know that Gary, you know, the SEC kind of came out and said, "Oh, is this legal or not legal?" You know, who knows? I don't think that. I mean, now I think that the SEC is really off of all the smaller projects or focus on bigger projects.
Well, yeah, because lately it looks like their strategy has been, you know, throw a dart at the board or spin the wheel.
But of small projects, they're going to pay them 30 to 50 million, maybe even $100 million to go away over a 6-month lawsuit, right? Or a threat of lawsuit. And then when the bigger boys show up, you know, it's like, oh, I don't really want to go because they'll fight me. And that's what's happened with, you know, with Ripple, right? They never thought there'd be a fight.
Yeah.
And now they're like, nope, they're fighting to the end. And it's really tax on the SEC. And that's why I'm thinking that these projects are going to last because they're not going to be attacked. Because really, anyone who's attacked by the SEC really has a hurdle after they're done with the SEC to stay even alive.
Yeah.
Right? They become so, I mean, BlockFi gave the SEC $100 million after an ex-SEC or ex-Gary Gensler friend went on the board of BlockFi when they were sued by the SEC, and he cut a deal for $100 million. Now, at the time, BlockFi beat their chest, which was 6 months ago, and now they're in bankruptcy. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I know that I know you guys have plenty of other things to do, and I know you guys are dying to see what you read all the bankruptcy paperwork for FTX and Alameda. Not. All right. You guys take care. We will see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Oh, no, I don't want the bye like this.
Bye.